Okay, so with patch 1.22, we got a nerf to the 279 and the Chieftain. This is very long awaited for majority of people, and yeah, it's probably about time. Because to be honest, these tanks have no real right to have basically everything going for them. Now, no one is going to tell you that the 279 gun or the Chieftain gun was good, because they were very, very derpy, but they were way too good at everything. Like, the Chief could go into position at 50 kilometers an hour, sit there, hold down, basically invulnerable, and then just farm you with decent DPM. It's not great DPM, but it's decent enough. Now the Chief goes slower, doesn't have as much DPM, so it's not going to farm you as fast, and it doesn't have as much pen, which means that for against super heavies, it's a little bit more tricky. The exact same thing goes for the 279. It didn't need to go as fast as a Chief was going. This thing could go at 50, just the same as the Chief could, if you stuck a turbo on it. But that's incredibly dumb. For a tank that is meant to be this all-round complete armor package, which, by the way, there isn't anything wrong with this. With this tank, in the way that it is, I don't think the armor is OP. Because as soon as you get into a tier 10 game, this thing gets shredded. It's only super duper OP against -2, which, once again, in itself is just a dumb mechanic in this game. If you removed -2 matchmaking, there wouldn't be as much complaints about the 279. I can almost guarantee you that. Because against tier 8s, this tank is super, super dumb. You basically cannot pen it. Even now, after all the changes, this tank is exactly the same to play against. However, it doesn't get into position as fast, and it also doesn't get as much DPM. It didn't get hit as badly with the DPM nerf as much as the Chief did, because the Chief got 1.5 seconds taken off the reload time, whereas the 279 only got 1 second taken off, which makes sense considering that it is now quite a bit slower than the Chief. That being said, I think Wargaming missed one kind of important thing on the 279, and that is that it gets this field mod, which makes it go at +4 kilometers an hour, which makes it basically the same speed as the Chief. So, yes. Interesting. Honestly, this thing is still a bit too fast. There is no reason to have this tank going at 40 kilometers an hour without a turbo. This thing should go at 30 kilometers an hour as standard, and then with the field mod, which every single person is going to be using anyway, it will then go to 35 or 34. I still don't really see... it did genuinely feel like they just missed that they had that field mod in the game for this tank when they were making these changes. But what about the penetration nerfs? Well, I mean, the penetration nerfs on the 279, you go from having 340 heat down to 320, which is honestly fine. It makes it so that you have to kind of aim for a little bit longer and make sure you have the correct shot on the super heavies rather than just going for the rough area of the super heavies. Mouse cheeks, you're still going to be able to pen. Type 5 heavy cheeks, you're still going to be able to pen. It's just going to be making sure that you are aiming at them. Because if you do miss, you're probably not going to pen. Although, that was kind of the same with 340 heat. The exact same thing goes for the Chieftain with 311 APCR pen. It's going to make it quite annoying, especially once stuff becomes angled. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not as bad as like the VZ55 with 306, or even the IS7 with 303 APCR pen. But you can definitely feel lower APCR more in the game when you're playing against super heavies, which is not really what you feel when you fire heat rounds. Because, you know, if the heat round was 311 pen, the exact same pen as a Chief has, the heat would still feel much better because it doesn't care about distance. It doesn't care about normalization or the angle of the armor. It just goes through whatever is there, and if it's 311 pen, it's going to pen it. So against super heavies, heat is 10 times better to play with. But against everything else, I'd rather be firing APCR. So these two have been nerfed quite substantially. The marks are slowly going back down. As you can see, this is what I last played on. We dropped down to 83.74% with nearly 5.3k average damage moving, or combined moving. I can actually go and double check what the marks were on when the day before the update. So the Chief for 2 marks was 5383, and for 3 marks was 6337. As you can see, that's gone down a fair amount just from, I think it's been about a week now, roughly. Probably give it 1 more week, and then you'll see the true kind of settling area of the marks. And for the 279, it dropped down from 5251 on the second mark and 6151 for the third mark. So yes, about 100 again. I predict that this is probably going to drop down to around about 59, 58 to 3 mark the Chief. And for the 279, probably about 57, 56 to 3 mark the 279, which is a lot better than the 6.1, 6.2 K average which those two tanks possess before these nerfs. Anyway, I think that's quite enough talking. Let's just go into play 1 game in each, and we'll just talk through what the tank can still do and what it can't do. Okay, so we are in Erlenberg, and apologies if there were black bars at the top and bottom. It's because it was doing the display capture. It shouldn't really make any difference, because what I was talking about you should still have been able to see, so that's fine. But as you can see, we went up plus 0.15% just from going into the game. We are using HP Rammer Stab on this. You can use HP Turbo Rammer still. They didn't really change anything to do with the gun, so that is that's annoying. Centurion Action 10 pushing there as well, which is going to be a problem for us. But as you can see, it doesn't turn as fast as well. It used to turn pretty well, but now it feels a bit more sluggish. Honestly, I might switch out Stab for IRM. I know it may sound a bit weird, but I mean, I tried IRM before, and it works quite well. Especially if you have Turbo Rammer IRM, you're a lot more nimble. I'd kind of like to... I want to get into, like, stuck into the action, but I also don't want to, you know, try and force something that isn't entirely ready. Like, if we had tried to go for this VKK and 260, we probably would have been in a little bit of trouble there. Okay. This is... this might actually turn into a slight issue. So we're going to back off. I know the TVP is there. Let's see if I can go back onto this corner. I know the Centurion might still be there. Put 1 more into him. Is this guy going to still peek me? No? Okay. Minotauro is the only person here with me, which is making me quite worried. Because the lack of support is going to be a problem. I mean, we have our S-Conk here now, though, so it shouldn't be that bad. VKK, I want APCR for... or premium APCR, I should say. You're going to be a problem to deal with, though. I actually got stuck there. That was not some very good driving there, Max. I mean, so far so good. Straight into the cupola. Unfortunately, pretty much every single person besides, you know, some of these. Besides, like, the VK and the 260. They all went. This VK just fired. We need to try and shoot him. We need to try and get this guy out of the game. You're not going to help? Oh, okay. Right. I mean, maybe he's on reload or something. I don't know. Nice. And we pointed the cupola up, or the gun up, to try and block if he was going to be pushing that. Trying to shoot the cupola. And we get 3.2 so far, which is... It's okay. I mean, we get the VK out of the game and now the 260. To be fair, I'm pretty sure the Mina was on reload, which is why he didn't come and help me. So, it's fine. That WZ is kind of an issue. Because he can pen me, even through my turret, with his heat. Don't have clean shots here. I have some shots on this gorilla in a second, though. There's a Jagdpanzer 100 at the very back of the map. Okay, this is not good. Now we'll go back here then. Back to our little spot. What do we do? What do we do here? Problem is, I can't really peek this side. So, I mean, I guess I just have to peek this. And just see if I can get some shots off. The main problem is artillery, honestly. Oh, what is this? Go forwards, try and block it. Nice. Get him blocked. Nice. Armor not hit. Feels bad, man. I'm gonna go forwards and just see if I can block this. Repair that. He's now perma-tracked there. Does he have a good enough repair crew? I'm not sure. He's tracked again. There shouldn't be anyone behind me here, which is good. He's gonna get that shot off though. Go backwards and just try and kill this. Oh, this is so annoying to try and play against. I'm now safe from behind, I think? Jesus. Okay. Sure. I have no idea how he managed to feather that shot through, but... Okay. I mean, we get 3.7, which is not good, but... It's 5k combined, so... We're back over 85%. Yeah, it's okay. So did I really feel like the Chief was... obliterated? Not really. It's still the same tank. The thing is, it's still the same tank. It just cannot do as much once it gets into position. And it takes a little bit longer to get into position. Honestly, the mobility nerf is not really even that bad. It's still completely playable. And especially in randoms. In competitive scene, I don't know how this is going to happen. Or how it's going to affect it, I should say. But... there is a tournament coming up, I believe, so I guess we'll see what people pick and see if it makes a change there. But yeah, overall, I don't think the Chief is... the Chief isn't destroyed or anything. It's definitely not dead, and it's still very, very good. I don't think that it needs any more nerfs, though. I don't think that this tank needs any more nerfs. Because if you make it... if you nerf the gun handling even more... it becomes really annoying to play. And that's the worst thing about what they do to tanks. Because sometimes when a tank is OP, they then just nerf the gun handling into the ground and it makes it kind of unplayable for the person that wants to play the tank. Like, what is the point of having a tank that is just horrible to play with and then horrible to play against? That I don't agree with. But I think at the moment, it's fine. Because, let's be honest, the Chief hull armor is not good. Like, you can easily pen this thing if it's out in the open. Which is why you see so many Chiefs that just don't even have very good or high damage, average damage per game. So, it's definitely not an idiot-proof tank. And it definitely requires more skill to play now. Which I think is a good thing. Alright, so at the end of that, we do get 3,700, which again, like for this tank, I want to average at least 4,000. But it's fine, you know, combined it's still 5k for marks. So yeah, I don't know. We fired 13, hit 12, penned 9, mostly only firing standard rounds. It still feels like the same tank, it's just the nerfs have actually worked. On certain maps, it's probably going to be a little bit harder to play because of the mobility, but honestly, it balances out the tank a little bit more. It does its job. Now, let's go ahead and play some games in the 279. We are using config because I moved my tier 3 experimental onto the VKK. So, yeah, and I'm not playing this thing without config because the ammo rack just keeps getting, not detonated, but it keeps going off and it's super annoying. So anything to try and help out the ammo rack, because this thing does have a very, very weak one. So, into the game. Alright, so we are on Ghost Town. Let us see. We've gone up 0.24 in the marks from just not even playing. So that is the rough change of what has happened with the marking there. And we're going to go to the city and try and take the safe route if we can. Obviously this is without using turbo or anything like that. You can see mobility wise, still fine. Yeah. I don't know, it still feels, you know, roughly the same. Yes, it doesn't go at 44 or whatever it was, kilometers an hour, but the thing is, this thing never should have gone that fast. I might cross and just straight away. Ooh, there's another 279. Maybe I won't cross straight away. Want to know what's around this corner, but I really don't want to overpeak it. I mean, the good thing is you can still do this. People firing HE at the 279. Well, that's the thing. It's still the same gameplay, and it's still the same tank. We have lost the entirety of that flank, though. You know what? I don't even think that they're going to push this. I'll try and help out my team over here with this E50M. Oh, also the Jagdpanzer. Leo at the back. Both of them hit the track. It's okay. I'm going to try and kill this E50M if I can. I cannot. I'm not too sure how. I mean, this game's already over, so... Yep. GG, I guess. My team just sucks. Very fun game. Very, very fun game. I really enjoyed my time playing WOT Tanks. Well, I died after 2 minutes and 41 seconds, and the game lasted 4 minutes 37. Very cool. I love the balance in this game. Alright, well, I mean, I guess we'll try again. Okay, well, we're now on Highway. Again, this is a tier 10 only game, so we will go to the city and see what we can do. Okay, right, so we are approaching our destination, which we are going to play on this corner in the city. We should be able to overpeak a fair amount and see if anyone wants to try and cross this. Mobility wise, didn't really feel bad getting here. We arrived at the same time as like a T-57 heavy. Obviously we do not have the potential like damage burst output that a T-57 has, but you know, we have a lot more armor than him. Interestingly, the 277 got spotted Along with an object 140? No, object 97. Oh. We'll back off and let this guy shoot him. Why were they so late though? 113's in our base nearly. This is a bit weird. The enemy team are... I don't know. They're not really playing City. At least it doesn't look like it. Where the hell's the 279? Where's the 279 and the Panzer 7? The Panzer 7's there. And there's the 279. I don't know why he's camping there. That is very weird. We're gonna need heat for this Panzer 7. Interesting bounce. That one went in though. 279 is there still. Might be able to get one more. There we go. Another one into the Panzer 7, which is very, very good. I'm actually going to go this way and try and shoot this 907. Maybe even go and bully the 279 as well. Hmm. 279 and 907 over this way. I need to be cautious of the fact that I could get shot in the side. Like this. Annoying. Also cannot really see this guy. He's there. I mean, it doesn't really matter whether I use AP or heat. I mean, I'm going to be aiming at this guy's cupola. Alright, let's just block this way off and just go for this 907. I'm going to need heat though. Of course he hits that. This is again a really, really dodgy game. Like... it's really weird the way the enemy played this. I'm going to try and cross this. I need to try and get some damage into this 279. I can't really do anything about the base. I'm way too slow to go back. What? Ah! Actual pen difference. Last patch, that would have penned it. Wait. That's actually mental. Yeah, last patch, I cannot actually pen him because of the pen difference from this patch. 340 heat would have just gone straight through that. Sure. I mean, I can't pen him. And he's struggling to pen me as well. Oh, whatever, man. I literally don't know how to pen him now. Am I just low-rolling the pens? I don't know. What another useless game this was. So I don't pen this, which is around about 330 heat. I don't pen this, which I don't understand. Like, what heat pen is that? So, to show you exactly what I mean, I'm going to load up tanks.gg. Is roughly about there, which is 320. Right? It's roughly there. Like 324. Last patch, that would have penned. Last patch, that would have been... a 70% chance. Now it's 50. This shot here is... Let's just make sure we have roughly the same angle. This shot here is just me low rolling the pen, unfortunately. Because that is 305 millimeters a pen, and I just low rolled it. But that's from a 70% chance. If that was last patch, it would have been 90. I'm so used to shooting these areas on 279s, and now it's just not... It's not as easy. This one here, I'm pretty sure is a bounce either way. Yeah, like this is just bad aim. It would have been like a 50-50 chance last patch. And then this one again is just a bounce. It would have been a bounce even last patch. Because I tried to go for the lip here. Because if he's angled up like this, there's no real other place that I can shoot him. Like the only place that I can really shoot is this tiny little lip here. Okay, so at the end of all of that, what do I think about the 279? I think it's fine. The nerf's done what they set out to do, and it has been a success in that regard. I got very unlucky, I won't lie, with the pen rolls that game. Because if I had just repeated those pen rolls, the exact shots, I would have probably penned it more times than I didn't. So we got kind of unlucky with the 279. We also just got a horrible game. That was 2 useless games in a row for this tank. And it doesn't matter what tank you're in that kind of scenario, you're not going to have a good game. In those 2 games, you could put any tank in the game in that scenario, and you are not going to have a good time. So I think that that's fine. Honestly. Does it need more nerfing? Honestly, only in the mobility. And I've just been thinking about this. The mouse is an assault heavy tank. I don't know why this is classed as a breakthrough heavy tank. It should get the exact same field mods that the mouse gets. Because this plus 4 kilometers an hour to top speed, why does it have this? Give it the mouse's field mods, because then you can give it still plus 2 kilometers an hour, which is not really going to affect it, to be honest. But you also then get internal module durability. So that would then help out with its ammo rack issue, which no tank should really have, to be honest, even if it is, you know, an OP tank or whatever. So I think they're fine. I honestly think it's fine. Yeah, a little bit more of a nerf to the mobility because it doesn't need to be going this fast, and the tank is perfectly good. Anyway, you have to let me know what you think down in the comments down below, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next video.